Call him what you will, a first-class a-hole, an SOB, whatever you want to say. Negan is like all, or many, should I say, sociopaths who obtain power and control over others. Negan is a tyrant of the first order. And whatever you may say about his so-called New World Order that he is imposing upon the rest of the post-viral apocalyptic world, at least in his limited surroundings, this man is still a tyrant. And so I open this portion of what I have to say by saying about Negan and to Negan, Sic semper evello mortem tyrannus. Thus always I bring death to tyrants. Now, like Stalin or Hitler or Pol Pot or Mussolini or any number of other dictatorial, murderous, tyrannical rulers before him and like him in history, in real human history, this man, fictional though he may be, is a person who must be dealt with accordingly. However, it is not enough to simply kill this man. It is not enough to simply run a knife through his jugular or to beat him to death with his own baseball bat. There must not just be vengeance or revenge executed upon this man. There must be justice brought down upon him. Okay? Now, what am I saying here? In relation to Rick Grimes, how I'm associating this is that one of the things that's going on is that when Rick emerges from this trial, when Rick emerges from this test with Negan, there will be the lust for revenge, not only in him, but also upon our parts as viewers. And it's not enough. There must be a message sent not only to this individual, but to all other individuals like him in the post-viral apocalyptic world, that we will not just kill you, but we will also destroy and dismantle the system or the systems that you have created. It isn't enough simply to wipe this man off the face of the earth. You must defeat the system that he has created and in its place restore order, justice, and balance. Otherwise, you will have not only another Negan who will pop up to take his place, but you could have 100 Negans just like him, each in their own little fiefdoms and kingdoms, creating disorder, chaos, destruction, murder, plunder, every kind of human vice in the book. Okay? So, what are we saying here? Yes, let justice be done upon Negan. But how should we do that? Is it just enough to run something through the man's belly? Is it simply enough for maybe Michonne to behead him like she ran the governor through with a sword in season 4? No. There must be justice. Yes, there must be retribution and vengeance, but there must be something that speaks to the larger issues of human society that these people are trying to rebuild in the post-viral apocalyptic world. If you simply overthrow Negan, you've only overthrown one man. But if you overthrow Negan and his system, then you leave a vacuum that is possible to create balance and justice and a true sense of human community that is based upon a righteous sense of understanding. Right? So, when you overthrow Negan, when you take him out, when you take the crown that hangs heavily upon his unrighteous head, you are not only saying that we're going to take this man out of power, but you are saying that our justice will be swift against all tyrants. It will be just, and it will be righteous, and it will be without mercy. I believe that motto outside of the walls of Alexandria says something to the order of, "Welcome to Alexandria, mercy for the lost, vengeance upon the plunderer." Right? And it's not just the vengeance of we're going to kill you. It's the vengeance of justice. How can we best accomplish that with somebody like Negan? As perhaps unsatisfying or dissatisfying as it may be to some of you, let me recommend this course of action. When Negan is finally thrown down, he must not simply be killed. He must be brought before a tribunal, perhaps a tribunal of the most influential communities in the post-viral apocalyptic world. Alexandria, Hilltop, the Kingdom, perhaps others who are out there who have tasted his wrath, who have suffered at the hands of his cruelty. And these are the people whose leaders must convene and sit in judgment over this tyrant. Do not simply let him be shot to death. Do not simply let him be beaten to death by Lucille, by his own bat. Do not simply let him die of, in a car chase where he breaks his neck or something like that. Some, little peon nonsense like that. The way Stalin, for example, died, of an aneurysm, a brain aneurysm, dying in a puddle of his own urine on the floor in his bedroom in the Kremlin. Okay, this man must be brought to justice. He must be made to face the judgment of his peers and of those victims whom he, both alive and not alive, whom he has destroyed. Okay? And when that tribunal has convened and sat in judgment over him, and when they have listed his crimes thoroughly, when they have defeated and dismantled the system that he has created, and perhaps even when they have brought to justice some of his personal lieutenants and others, then let him be executed. How should he be executed? Well, there are many, 1,001 ways to die, people, that are worse than being beaten to death by a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. I mean, for God's sake, you can vivisect the man if you want to. I know it sounds cruel, but perhaps it might be worthy justice for him. Personally, and some of you may think I'm a little bit sadistic for this, I wouldn't mind seeing this man crucified. Yes, I said it. Crucify him. And crucifixion was not simply, for those of you who are unaware, crucifixion was not something that Jesus suffered. And here I'm talking about Jesus the Christ, the historical/biblical figure of Christian fame, not the character in our below storyline here. Crucifixion was something that the Romans did to many prisoners, many thousands of them. And it was a very horrible and painful way to die, one that took often days for people to endure before they finally, as the old saying goes, gave up the ghost. This man is worthy of crucifixion. Now, perhaps they may not do something like that in a TV show, but I think it would be an excellent, superb, even superior way to bring justice to rest upon this tyrant. Okay? So, when he comes to face justice, don't expect him to show remorse or sympathy for his victims. He more than likely believes he's doing what is right, just as Stalin did, just as Hitler did, just as many other tyrants like him have always believed themselves to be doing. But since tyrants seldom show remorse for their brutalities, you can expect him at a trial to be very arrogant, to be very condescending, to show no sense of remorse for what he has done at all. And that should fit the character, by the way. Even so, it matters not. Let him face the justice of his accusers, and let him be punished accordingly when he is found guilty. And he will be found guilty. And as I said, crucify him.